I want to talk about delegating, and actually when I think of the word, I think back to being in Leaving Cert, like school business class. I actually got kicked out of school business class. My teacher wouldn't teach me. But anyway, in our textbook, there was a whole chapter on delegating, and it was said that successful managers learn to successfully delegate. And to be successful in business, you have to know how to successfully delegate. So it is a really important subject. Obviously, you can only progress so much yourself. You have to rely on others if you really want to accelerate your growth in business. And if you don't master this, no one will want to work with you. And if you do master this, people will love working with you. And people will really empower you by taking on more and more work. So essentially, you can do more and more. A real champion in this space is Richard Branson, who talks so actually openly about having to delegate. He says, look, you know, I'm not that skilled. I'm not that smart. It's actually, I think, amazing listening to him say that. And he said, you know, coming to terms with that is something that really actually empowered him, or forced in some ways him to work with others and really learn how to work really well with others because he needed it. He really, really needed it. But I think it's always inspiring when you hear these kind of champions in business talk so openly about their weaknesses and the journeys that they went about in terms of learning certain skills. Anyway, back to this. The first thing I would say up front when it comes to, so just understanding what delegating is, it's essentially handing over parts of work to others to do for you. And the first thing I'd say is that when you're working with anyone, sit down with them. Sit down with them and actually get to know them. Ask the kind of the slightly odd questions of, look, if I'm working with you, how do you like to be worked with? How do you like me communicating with you? You know, do you want me to tell you that you're doing things bad up front? Do you want me to do it in an email? Do you like me sending jobs, talking jobs through with you? Do you like me sending them in emails? Everybody works differently. Everybody likes to communicate differently. And in mastering delegating, you actually have to master communication and actually reading different people. So that's the first kind of part of this. The second thing I'd say is that whenever it is that you're delegating something, actually delegate it. Don't give something with no context, no information, none of the things that are needed in order to do that. So some people naively, they say, oh, will you do this for me? And the person has to right away ask, do what? What do you want from this? Okay, well, in order to do that, I need this, and you, that, this, and this. And that becomes really taxing for both people involved. So whenever you're delegating, clearly note what it is that you want from the person to do, and give all that they need to do that. Give access to whatever platforms they'll need, give all the supporting content for them that they'll need, and give all the guidance to do it exactly as you want done, and let them know if this is successfully done, this is what this will look like. So all that guiding information will dramatically improve the chances of success when you delegate, but also as well, it'll feed the relationship. You know, it'll have somebody actually empowered to go out and do the job rather than having to go back and forth with yourself. And then whenever it is that the job is complete, sit down with the person and actually appraise the person based on that job. If they've done it really well, let them know that it's done really well. If areas could be better, let them know exactly what areas could be better done. And then give an opportunity for going forward. So remember that every job, every time you delegate, it's a learning experience. And so the first time you delegate to somebody, of course, something isn't going to be done fantastically well. But if you've had the conversation up front and you've had the conversation following, the next time you do something, provided somebody is really listening and present, it's going to be a different world altogether. And so knowing that the first time you delegate, things will be a bit off, but you'll both actually learn. The second time you delegate, things will be that little bit better. And again, you'll both learn till the point that actually things run absolutely seamlessly. So anyway, those are kind of quick little snippets. I hope it sparks a bit of curiosity. And if any further questions come up, don't hesitate to get in touch and I'll follow up with you from there. Thank you.